Uh, hey. So, yeah, it's been a while since I've done a showcase or any kind of video like that for any of my recent mods and stuff that I've been working on. So, well, for the main reason I'm doing this is because Discord only allows like 10 megabytes that you could upload directly to it, and I can't really, I can't really show what I want to show in this case with just 10 megabytes. So I was like, all right, I might as well just do a somewhat longer a longer little showcase here of some of the things I've been working on. Um I've been primarily working on physical combat overhaul, the planned version 2.0 kind of overhaul for the overhaul kind of update. And I've worked on a good few things. I haven't really refined them yet in terms of things, but one of the main things I've been working on the past few weeks, or kind of like few months really, but it's mostly just been me procrastinating, which has been slowing it down, but progress. But yeah, this UI that is going to act as kind of the mod specific inventory window. So instead of using the base Daggerfall inventory window and then overriding that, and then causing compatibility issues with any other mods that also override the inventory window, I was like, I'll just make my own window that essentially will be primarily there um to communicate the specific attributes and stuff of the physical combat overhaul, like items, that how they're changed and stuff, and how they work with the mod active and all that. Um, so currently I have the UI to open with the G key, so click that now. And as you can see, it's like the paper doll isn't there, but all of the armor and equipment, not clothing specific equipment slots are present. That being the head, right, left arm, legs, chest, gloves, feet, right hand and left hand, or whatever, main hand and offhand and all that. You got condition bars below these items. I'm probably not explaining everything very well, but you have the attribute depending on the item, like the damage resistance percentage value and the damage threshold, flat value, and all that number. Um, yeah, the ones in the box here are like the real value, which is being modified by stuff like the current condition of the item, which increases or decreases the effectiveness of that. But then in this little info box up here, this extra info box, when you hover over it, it shows the like base value of that without those modifiers, basically. So that if you see discrepancy there, that's the reason why. Um, and when you click on these, when you left click on these, well, actually, you could say if you right click, it'll unequip the item, and if you left click, it'll open up a uh, secondary or pop up window that will show you all of the relevant items you currently have in your inventory for for that slot, and you can equip from there, as well as this thing that I've been working on the past few weeks, which has been this, like, I mean, it shouldn't have taken this long, but as I said, procrastinating, but this like extra window on the left here, which is the basically comparison the comparison text, which is kind of as the name goes, it is comparing. Oh, okay, yeah, I was like, wait a minute. It is comparing the thing that you currently have on, which it could be nothing, so you'll always be gaining something, at least for now and all that. But what you currently have equipped with what you have your mouse hovering over. So, like, you know, this leather right pauldron is obviously much weaker than this orcish right pauldron. So in this window, you'll see the gain. In this window, you'll see the gain of the DR and the DT if you equip the orcish one. And then if you equip the orcish one, you'll see what the losses are or the gains are of equipping other ones and stuff. And the same works for all the other slots. Originally, I wasn't even going to have this comparison thing, but I was like, I have more space over on each side here. Like, I had this whole, like, area here empty. So I was like, I might as well use it. As well as I was like, I kind of like the idea of just a quick visual comparison, not having to do any, like, math in your head necessarily to see how much one item is different than the other kind of deal. Uh, And I'd seen it in other games where they kind of do that, like in, say, World of Warcraft with, I don't know if that's default. I think that's the default game. They probably added that at some point. I don't know if it was always there, but when you hovered over something in your inventory, while you had something equipped, it would kind of do, like, not the same comparison as this, like the exact same way, but it would show something similar, like a comparison of what stat changes were comparing one to the other kind of deal. And I thought that was kind of cool, so I was like, might as well use this space for something. Now, text-wise, it's obviously not optimal here because it's very there's a lot of horizontal space, but not, or no, there's a lot of vertical space, but not a lot of horizontal space, which kind of makes it hard to fit text without, like, wrapping issues and shit. So I've kind of had it's probably a little bit not the most readable thing, but it could be worse, I guess. Um, and the armor part is fairly self-explanatory, but it was definitely a lot more complicated for the hands, which can have either a shield, uh, a two-handed weapon, or a one-handed weapon and empty hand, or two, dual wielding two one-handed weapons. Um, and even stuff like bows in the left, if you have the one setting, you can have bows in one in the offhand and stuff like that. So yeah, it was definitely a lot more complicated, the logic for this, as well as just the display of it, I guess. Like, it's honestly not great, but I think it's uh mostly functions. Like, I think it functions perfectly in terms of, like, the actual giving you what information is being compared here, for the most part, at least at this base level of the basic stuff. It's not taking in any consideration like enchantments or any other factors. It's just taking, like, the base stats of the items into consideration for these comparison stuff for now. But I think in that sense, it's working pretty much as I wanted it to. I think how useful it'll be overall and how well it is being communicated. Yeah, I don't know, but this is kind of the best I was able to come up. This is kind of the best I was able to come up with and implement at this moment. And unfortunately, I was gonna have it so, like, actually, I do have it like that. Apparently, I didn't even fucking realize that. So yeah, like, actually contextually changes what items are being filtered in this. What the hell was the name of it called? I forget. What this, like, scroll bar thing. This whole list of items, it contextually auto filters them based on, at least for the right and left hands, auto filters them based on, like, what you can equip in that hand, kind of, or what, like, what makes the most sense, I guess. So Yeah, that's kind of the weird explanation. Say if this hand is empty, if your offhand is empty, you can equip weapons. So it'll show these weapons, or you can equip one-handed weapons. Bows are different because they're always considered offhand weapons with that one setting active, so they kind of don't count in this sense. But if this hand is already filled, if the offhand is already filled and the main hand is already filled, then it won't show those because the way the method for equipping items works currently is that it, it automatically assumes that if you have both of your hands occupied like this, then any other one-handed item you are going to equip is going to go be equipped to the main hand first. Like in this case, like this. It's not going to try to put anything into the offhand unless the offhand is currently empty and the main hand is occupied. Then it'll allow you to equip something in the offhand, a weapon in the offhand like this. Otherwise, you can just equip shields and stuff. Um, yeah, it's not that complicated, but it's a little bit difficult to explain with words. You just kind of like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just dumb and I have a hard time explaining it. But you know, the difficulty with the comparison thing at the end was just kind of like, oh well, what if two items are getting removed compared to one item being equipped? That being, you have two items equipped, either a shield and your main hand, and you are trying to equip or comparing a two-handed weapon, which will unequip. If you equip it, will unequip both the main hand and the current main hand and the current offhand. So that's why I had the text kind of like weird like that, where it has the loss with the armor and the gain with uh the right min gain and right max gain for damage and shit. But like say if I had a weapon equipped, then it would compare the damages, and I made it so the loss would always be for the offhand. It would always show a loss for that because no matter what, you are unequipping it. And that's kind of one thing that I plan on working on. Maybe not next, but as definitely a future thing I'll be working on as I'm working on this overhaul to this mod or whatever this update is. I want dual wielding to actually like function more as dual wielding, not kind of just like having two items equipped that you can quick swap between, but actually like functioning kind of like in say Skyrim, but not less shitty than that, I guess. Like hopefully less shitty than that. Where it's like actual dual wielding, you're using both weapons at the same time when you're attacking if you have them in both hands. Um but that's going to be a fair amount of work just getting it to function as I want. As well as the trying to kind of like balance that trying to balance that without like neutering it too much kind of thing. But hopefully that won't be as hard as I'm thinking it will be, but we'll see, I guess. Um there's other things I probably wanted to say, but yeah, I've already talked too much. It's already gone way too long, but yeah, I just wanted to show off this kind of comparison thing because I thought it was kind of neat. Oh yeah, and I think one more thing that I'm going to work on for this UI before I probably call it good for now and then go on to the next thing I need to work on feature wise. Um, is I'm going to put probably some buttons up here, possibly down here as well. Maybe on both. I don't know, but probably at the least up here on both of these pop-up windows here, and they will act as just some simple filter and sorting buttons. So, say there'll just be a button here that will be like A to Z or some shit. And then if it'll have like three states where it'll be like inactive, and then active 1 and active 2, I guess. And that'll essentially just be either inactive, it's not sorting alphabetically. Uh, Active 1, which will be probably like ascending alphabetically, and then active 3 will be descending alphabetically or whatever. Um, Maybe another one will be like sort by condition, like current condition, like if it what has less condition and what has more condition kind of thing. Uh, there's other things I had in mind. Other sort functions I had in mind. It's maybe by material. Yeah, I forgot. I had notes for it, but there was a few other things that I wanted to have for like sorting. Probably really not necessary, but I figure I've already done this much with this interface. I might as well add some kind of like sorting functions for just for the hell of it, I guess. Some simple ones at the very least. I don't think I'm probably gonna have like a text bar or search parser or whatever, like a text parser to be like, oh yeah, search by name, like by what you type in. Probably not. I don't think that's necessary because it already does a pretty decent amount of filtering here, contextualized filtering based on the slot and stuff. So it's like, yeah, I think that would be. I think it'll be more than enough just to have a few simple sorting buttons. Um, but yeah, I guess. Oh, there we go. I guess that's all I wanted to showcase for now. But yeah, I've been working on this mod, and I don't know how much longer it's going to take, but I've been working on it for a good few months here, very slowly, but it is in the works. So we will just see how it progresses, how it continues to progress. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.